I'm back again. As you can see, the title is Herpes and Marriage. This is a big one because I talk to a lot of married women too who found out they had herpes in their marriage. Okay, so a lot of people are like, well, he had to be cheating, she had to be cheating. That is not always the case, guys. Y'all have to understand that herpes can lie dormant. Okay, it can lie dormant. It pops up, go dormant, pops up, go dormant. Some people are asymptomatic, so they're basically not really getting symptoms, but they can still pass on the virus. So with that being said, guys, I want you to understand, talking to my married women today, that if you're going through this, this is a video for you, because I know you are going through some things right now and you're looking like, please help me, because or married guys, I don't know what to do. I don't know how to support her. I don't know how to help her. I don't know how to do this. You know, talking to the people who have both mates have it, or one mate have it and the other one don't. So let's talk about the mates who one have it and the one have it and one don't. That's my situation right now. You have to understand, look, mine's different because I didn't catch it with my husband, but I have talked to so many people who have. So I want you to understand, trust is big with dealing with herpes. Like, you have to keep the trust there when it comes to a relationship. So my whole thing is very vital. Being married, as we know, communication is key. So it's very vital that you talk to your mate a lot about this situation. I'm talking about in the beginning, y'all need to talk it all out, hash it all out, and then y'all can drop it and y'all can move on with y'all lives. But it's very vital. If you're in the beginning, he's flipping out, she's flipping out, they don't know what to do. I ain't leaving you, but I'm pissed, and they treating you all crazy. You got to tell them, like, look, let's sit down and let's talk. Let's educate each other. Let's get the questions answered. Let's really get to what we need so we can understand this thing, because people are going to think that you cheated. They gonna think it. You had to cheat on me when you was cheating. And if you had cheating in a relationship, it doesn't help at all, a little bit, because at the end of the day, then you're thinking, you know, both of you, even if you guys forgave each other about it, you're thinking, okay, it could have came from that situation, you know. And if it did, you know, that's kind of a little consequence coming out of that situation. But at the end of the day, nobody's expected to catch any STDs. I don't care what your situation is, stepping out, not stepping out. Nobody's really expecting that to happen at all. So it's very vital that you talk to your mate. I mean, all the arguing, get it out the way, but y'all have to sit down and say, okay, what do you want to do? We need to talk about this. Let's see how we can protect you. If you want to use protection from now on, let's do it. You know, my whole thing is about coming to an agreement on the things that you want to do and how y'all want to do it from now on to have a safe sex life, or intimacy, if you want to say, together. So my whole thing is very vital that y'all just have a decent conversation. No yelling, no cussing, no calling out of names, and sit down and say, let's talk. And let's come up with ways that, you know, when I'm having my outbreaks and when I'm not, know how to protect myself. If you want me to get on medicine, I will. You know, doing whatever is necessary for you guys to come to a common ground to what y'all can do. Most importantly, it's also allowing that mate who don't have it to vent out. Let them say what they need to say. My whole thing is hard to take that stuff to heart, but at the end of the day, let them get it all out. Let them say how they feel, things like that, and then after they talk, you say you can be honest and tell him how you feel about that as well. And you also have to tell him, please just be supportive to me through this situation. I know you're angry, but you know, you got to also tell them, you know, I really need your support through this too. Tell them how you're feeling about yourself, how you know, your thoughts, you're feeling, you know, tell them all of that. I feel like at the end of the day, in the worst of the worst, we have all been through things in our marriages that you have to understand. Communication is key, and we need each other's support in the good and the bad. So my whole thing, this is a time saying that you do the same thing. Let him get what he need to say out. Don't jump in and trying to defend yourself. Just step back for a minute, put a muzzle on your mouth, or you can have to put your hand on your mouth and just say, okay, babe, say whatever you need to say. I know it hurts, but I have to hear how you feel about it. And then say, can I say how I feel about the situation? And ask him to say the same thing. Don't say anything. Let me say how I really feel, what I'm going through, how I'm feeling about this, how I feel like I hurt you, how I put you in through this, and all this stuff like that. So you guys can mend. I feel like the communication is going to be key for both sides for you to get through this. If you do not talk, I'm telling you guys, it's going to be some secret frustration. It's going to be some secret hatred. It's going to be some secret, you know, feelings about the situation, or secret fear there. And you're not saying, no, neither one of you are saying anything. You must talk about it. You must talk about it. You must talk about it. Y'all must open your mouth and you must say what you need to say in the beginning while the situation is a little heated. But at the end of the day, get it all out. Say what y'all need to say. Make a plan and do it. Okay? For my women or my guys who are in a situation, but both of y'all have it, okay? One had it, didn't know, and ended up giving it to you. Or you found out you had it, and then your partner found out had it. Y'all gonna freak out, okay? Number one, it's gonna be a freak out there because who gave it to who? Number one, y'all will never figure that out. As much as we look at numbers and the doctors say this and that, as we know, numbers fluctuate, things change. It's hard to pinpoint things. Like, I wish we'd be able to pinpoint this thing, that it'll help with a whole lot of stuff. But at the end of the day, we really can't pinpoint in this given moment. I can't wait until we get some more technology so they can get the numbers and everything together, and for they explain it a little bit more that we as humans, not doctors, but human beings, can understand what the heck they talk about when they give us these numbers. So with that being said, guys, you have to understand not to do the blame game. No blame game. It's not even worth it. You love him. She loves you. She loves you. She loves you. He loves you. He loves you. It doesn't matter. No blame game. It's not going to help your relationship. It's not going to help the situation. And it's going to cause more frustration, more aggravation, and more arguments. You don't want to continue to argue. It's not going to help. I'm telling y'all, it's not. Arguments are not going to help this situation. Both of y'all are still going to feel the way you feel. Both of y'all are feeling slick, depressed, got anxiety, panic, suicidal thoughts in your own. Y'all all feeling like your life is over. Both of y'all are feeling the same thing. So I feel like when you both have it, it's time for y'all to come together and pretty much use each other as support and say, babe, how are you feeling about this? What do you think? What do you want to do? What type of man do you want to be on medication? Do you not? How you want us to support each other through it when we having our outbreaks? Same for you. You come out and say, y'all do y'all research again and say, babe, look, I found this out. Hey, babe, hey, we found this out. Hey, you can use this. You try this when I try this and see how it works for me. My whole thing is be a support to each other, period. Be a support to each other. You must be a support to each other. Period, guys. You're married. You have to do it. I'm not saying that you're not going to have your down times, but one of you guys got to step up and be the bigger person. You have to, and you got to have to mend, and sometimes you have to just shut your mouth and let the person say what they need to say for you to be the bigger person and say, okay, I love you. I hear what you're saying, and this is how I feel as well, but what are we going to do as a solution? We need a solution. This whole thing, you have to get solution driven when this STD come up, because right now, herpes, we don't have a solution at this moment. We don't have a cure. We don't have vaccines. We don't have any of these things at this given moment. We can do the natural route, as y'all say, we have a cure. Yes, I love Dr. CB, y'all. But at the end of the day, that takes time. Okay? It's a process. And it takes time. And in the midst of your process, you still got to deal with herpes. You still got to deal with the mental strain. You still got to deal with so much other things while you're still going through your process of trying to heal your body. Okay? So with that being said, you still have to deal. You still have to talk. You still have to, mend. And you still have to be support to each other in the midst of this, guys. And there's nothing wrong with stepping back and just say, you know what? I'm going to let you breathe. Let me breathe. It's other things you can do. If you don't want to talk, if the arguments are so bad on both sides, I say write letters to each other. Write notes. This is how I'm feeling. You write me a note back. My whole thing is do what is necessary to move forward in your relationship. This is just a small hump in the road for you guys. It's probably like a mountain at the moment, but you can get through it. I know too many people who are on both sides of each fence I just talked about, and they're in a successful relationship, loving each other, moving forward. Yes, it's a little shaky at times. Yes, the other partner may not want to ever talk about it, but my whole thing is honor their wishes and just move forward. As long as y'all have the conversation, it's clear. Y'all know where y'all going. Y'all know how everything's going. You don't have to sit there and talk about it every day. I don't think it's something to talk about every day. I feel like it's a time frame to talk, get all you need out, vent with each other, be support to each other, and move forward with it. And y'all have your code words for your outbreaks or whatever make your case may be. But at the end of the day, I think this is a time you have to understand marriage is more important. Period. Your relationship is more important, and that y'all need to fight for it, and to know that, things do happen within a relationship. It's not because it's always because the person is cheating on you or anything like that. It's just sometimes stuff gets swept under the rug. Most people say, we're getting tested all the time. But, when you get married, sometimes you stop getting tested because you're not assuming that your partner is cheating, or you got tested in the beginning of your marriage and you didn't know to get tested for herpes. So neither one of y'all was getting tested for that. Or, you had your baby and they didn't test you. Now I'm not gonna lie, some OBGYNs, I have heard it from the grapevines that some OBGYNs don't test you for it. Okay, so that's another thing. You didn't know. It's like, I just had a baby. How do I have a herpes now? How did they didn't tell me? They probably didn't test you for it because they would have seen it and they would have had to tell you, and they had to take precautions to make sure the baby is fine and make sure you're fine as well. So that means they didn't tell you. They didn't test you for it. So it's just other things you have to understand. A lot of what's going on and the strain and the frustration that happens with having herpes in marriage is the lack of information that we know. And y'all have to both be honest with each other and say, I did not know that. And he got to say he didn't know that. And just say, you know what, since we did not know that, why are we tearing each other's heads off and beating each other up about it and say, like, okay, babe, let's see how we're going to move forward and how we're going to conquer this and how we're going to have a still regular intimacy and regular relationship like we were having before with no ifs, ands, buts about. So with that being said, guys, I just wanted to give y'all a little, not too much, but just enough for you to understand that if you have a mate who don't have it and you have it, you can get through this, but the communication must be there. Same for both partners have it. Communication must be there. Y'all have to talk. Y'all must talk to each other. You can't just run all the time and not talk. You have to talk. You got to listen even through the arguments, you have to listen to them out and even get to a moment where y'all can sit down and have a real conversation without any heated, yelling and screaming at the top of each other's lungs, trying to get y'all point across. Y'all have to get to a point where y'all can sit down and say, you tell me how you feel, let me tell you how I feel, and let's move forward with it. If y'all have a marriage counselor, I would say go back to your original marriage counselor. And this is something y'all can talk about as well within your marriage counseling. There's nothing wrong with that. If y'all want just basic information, things like that, y'all can reach out to me and I can give him the information that he may not understand or you may not know. Sometimes we just don't know the information and we can't answer their questions, and that frustrates us and it frustrates them because it's like, well, you got it. How you don't know? You should know everything about it. And that's not the case because we know the information is not just easy to find on herpes. So my whole thing is, if you need questions answered, it's nothing wrong. Information is comments below. Reach out to me. Send me an email. Whatever the case may be. Set up an appointment where y'all can reach out to me. We can talk for 45 minutes and we can just have, he can ask his questions, you can ask your questions, and we can have a nice little dialogue of what's going on. Because sometimes y'all just need a middle ground, somebody who understands on what's going on with your situation so you guys can mend. I have did it for couples before of them just talking and I'm answering questions and it helps. It absolutely helps. And they're moving forward in their relationships. And then I can also if you feel comfortable with me talking to your mate, they can call in and just talk to me by themselves and I can answer all their questions. Because sometimes people just like, I don't want her here or I don't want him here. I don't want them there. And I have done that when I talk to mates alone over the phone and answer all their questions and even told them how their own mate was feeling. For them to realize like, this is how she's feeling or this is how he's feeling. You got to take it into consideration. You got to do this, you can do that. And the relationship gets so much better. So my whole thing, sometimes you just need an interceder just to step in to help you guys on what's going on. So I love you guys. Like I said, if you having, more problems, if you're a married woman or a married man and need to talk a little bit more, you know where I am. Set up your appointment for 45 minutes and we'll talk it all out. I always say it's great to have both of you guys there just to have that. So we can have that togetherness. I'm all about keeping you guys together. But if you feel more comfortable doing individually and then doing something together, that's fine with me as well. But we'll talk it out, get it all out. If you just have simple questions, reach out to me and I will answer your questions the best way I can to help you guys and to move forward. Like I said, herpes and marriage can be okay. Like, you can be fine. You can have the life you want to live. Life is not over for neither one of you guys, but you got to understand that you guys have to talk. Y'all have to mend. Y'all have to be supportive, and you have to be understanding in the midst of the whole process. Everybody's situation is different, so I'm being pretty general of what I'm saying right now, but I want y'all to understand that at the end of the day, you guys have to do what is necessary in your relationship, and that's communicate. That is communicate. Big time. So I love you guys. Talk to you soon.